this is a stage that makes sense for both characters. I feel like Orcane can do pretty well in terms of controlling the platforms with bubbles and stuff like that. And Flea just is going to have a lot of room to work with in order to reset up a little bit of zoning, just weave in and weave out pretty consistently. So I think the stage pick makes sense for a first game.
Yeah, I do like it for Orcane because, of course, the lower ceiling of Godai, it went from a pretty abysmal stage to kill characters on off the top to a very, very good one. Even with the lower platforms, it's they massively changed it. They did say they would massively change it, and they followed through on that. It is a far better stage when you're wanting to go up against floaties, and both these characters almost flying off the top, so we'll see how they can both explore this weakness. Of course, also less close side blast zones, no more Fleet carrying off the sides, ideally for Lily, which is one of the best ways for Fleet to kill right now. And that doesn't seem to stop Lily, Genarog at all, as he takes the first stock with a flying backer.
Yeah, Genarog just passing by, you know. I feel like Lily is one of those players who maybe need to adapt a little bit more to their opponent, like a little bit more slowly. And make kick up one gear a little bit later, but Genarog is just like playing consistently. You know, been doing well in the brackets all weekend long. Also did pretty well during the crew battle earlier today.
Yeah,
I think
Valiant's carries for sure.
Yeah, it is interesting though because I feel like just the stamina might be kicking in as well at the end of this weekend. So I'm afraid we might see a little bit more mistakes from both players. To be fair, but we'll see.
So far, Genarog looks pretty clean. He's sticking to the side of the stage as he likes to. He's a player that's sort of not super aggressive. He likes to stick to underneath the platform specifically and then float up and around them and about and sort of mix up his opponent's movement with that way. And so you come into his big sort of aerials and you lose every trade, or you just get grabbed like that as Lily whiffs from the corner. And yeah, that's just it. There's so much potential here when you're dancing around in the corner for reversals or just early kills that Genarog has used so well so far.
Yeah, I also really like right now Genarog's game plan of just doing short hop into Lily's space. Just because that short hop is just enough to get right above the down strong, at least uncharged down strong. And therefore, like, it makes Lily's job of actually getting a kill much harder. We're going to finally find that back throw, but like, that took some time, that took a while. Now Lily's already at 102%. She is struggling.
Yeah, lots of work to be done here. Lily still has access to the puddle across the other side of the stage, is going to use it at that point because Genarog can't really access it with any sort of hitbox. Lily manages to find her way out, but she eats so much while doing so. Platform tech chase down strong, shielded very smartly by Lily, who's off stage, goes to puddle once more. That one's a bit too obvious, however. She gets caught by an Aether. She's off stage. Oh, but Genarog whiffs the down air, goes way too low and dies at 20.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying about potentially the stamina kicking in and just a couple more mistakes that we are used to from these players. It can happen. Thankfully, Genarog had a one-stock lead, so it wasn't too consequential, but you still gotta be careful about all that.
Yeah, I imagine there was just a float input that was intended from Genarog there that just didn't come out, and so instead of a back air that was sort of hovering above Lily, he went fully down with it. Yeah, unfortunate SD, but clearly it didn't matter much. Genarog still had a very fresh final stock because that was just a strong game and a strong game plan, I think. Good personal reads, great like expectations of burns from the corner, especially grab. It was clear that Genarog was very, very cognizant of the fact that Lily likes her reversals, but also the game plan of just sticking around the corner, letting Lily do all the work in neutral. I thought it worked out really well.
It really did, honestly. It's going to be interesting how they can apply their game plan on Aramada, which is one of the more unique stages in the game. Just because it is one of those stages where recovery is going to be hampered a little bit more because of the lack of wall going all the way down. But overall, I feel like this could actually be a pretty decent stage for Orcane because as long as you have that safety measure of the bottle, like, you could do some very tricky stuff as well.
Yeah, Orcanes have like been not necessarily super enthused about this stage, and I have been. Oh,
I mean,
God.
yeah,
and that's kind of why. That's
kind
scary,
of
right? But I've been heavily arguing against them because someone has to be good on Air Armada. Everyone says it's a bad stage for them, but someone has to be good on it if it's bad for everyone else. I think that character is Orcane. Like you said, doesn't care that much about recovery usually. You have Puddle, you have your get out of jail free card that allows you to go off stage and make mistakes. As long as it leads to results, it doesn't matter because you have that safety net. And even then, also killing off the top, this character's phenomenal at it. You're seeing Lily press LB a lot. That's because that move kills her like 80 on fleet on this stage. It's just that Lily's being perhaps a bit too optimistic with it.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too optimistic. Seeing a little bit of air pressure coming in, but Genarog right now just doing a phenomenal job at actually surviving, honestly. The up deals in there, two, still not enough, which is kind of crazy to think about at some point. Back throw still not enough either, like, okay, finally, we're going to go way over there and get that back air. That's still almost a one-stock lead for Genarog. It is not looking too great for Lily at the moment.
Lily's side Bs have just managed to escape every platform. That is a very annoying thing actually about this platform. It can kind of stop Fleet from getting any of those easy down airs on those more successful side Bs. So yeah, good pick, but it's not really working out like you said. Genarog's just kind of keeping her in the corner. He's not really losing his patience at all. He's taking his time, making sure he just gets the kill. He will get the kill eventually, I think is the mindset right now. It's just a matter of time. So instead of forcing it, just take your time with it. Eventually you'll get that grab, down throw up there, gotta do it. And that's a great stock lead from Genarog, who looks sort of untouchable right now.
And I think that, funnily enough, patience might be one of Europe's weakness at this point in time. But Genarog is probably one of the players who's playing the most patient in the top echelon of EU players overall. So yeah, he really doesn't need to overcommit or anything. He's just going to wait for his time, bide his time, and eventually it's just gonna work out.
We're going to see a smash attack probably from Lily here, who's looking to get this sort of stock. I think she really wants to get to the bubble and then maybe launch an Aether. Ooh, instead she just parries! And Genarog floats softly away from the wall and cannot recover. Lily gets a massive stock there, baits Genarog into thinking she's going to attack. That's a great mix-up from Lily, but she's still struggling with this.
Yeah, she's still struggling. She's completely off stage. The puddle is present, but it is still a difficult situation to be in. We're right above the fleet. You do not want to be above the fleet as she does the up strong. This is going to be very complicated to get back from, and the back air is going to do it. That was kind of a checkmate situation anyways, because, like, what was he going to do, really? Teleport? And teleport was going to get punished. Like, Genarog was in the perfect position to punish that as well, so...
Yeah, just really good positioning and a fairly dominant game on Lily's counter pick. Like, Genarog did not look worried at any point during that game, and even with that stock from the parry, like, Lily's gotten two very early stocks here, and it's still been a clearly stock lead victory from Genarog so far, who maybe has a handle on this Orcane matchup, or maybe it was just Stuga who had it the better of Genarog on Friday, but all the same, I've got a lot of confidence in this fleet player right now, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, again, the situation is much different than yesterday as well, because, again, there's the experience of the crew battles, and also, yeah, like, there's still an entire day. Obviously, if you're doing crew battles, like, you want to take a break at some point during the day, just in between that and the bracket, but you're also always thinking about, yeah, how can I beat this character that's been annoying me for all this time?
Yeah. Maybe an answer from Genarog, and I guess the question is now, how is Lily going to adapt, right? Genarog has been quite shield heavy, and is certainly like waiting for you to whiff moves. So I would like to see a more grab heavy play stuff from Lily, not from the corner, but just after Genarog whiffs a move, or after Genarog like whiffs a wave dash, or just isn't seeming so confident. I think you can look for grab there. I think he's like shielding a lot in these scrabble situations, and also just representing pressure with movement and not necessarily any aerials, or at the very least safe aerials. Nonetheless, Lily with a patented bubble butt from Legend to F-Strong is going to get a lot of percent, but now she has no bubble. She burned it for really no reason, Mateus, and that is cut.
She has no resources. It's going to be over. It is over. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
As you said, like, we definitely want to see more with punishing from Lily overall. Thankfully, she's going to be able to get that kill all the way off the top. Much important, not that high of a ceiling, all things considered. But yeah, this is still a rough situation, and that is an SD, an unfortunate SD, as they were trying to grab ledge, and Genarog is just able to get the ledge hog off of that.
Yeah, Lily accidentally uses her wall jump, so she up B is just thinking she'll be fine. But Genarog is really, really like aware of that situation, and just grabs ledge, gets rid of it. And Lily has no other option to get back into stage. That's such an early stock. Finally, it's Lily who catches one of these early deaths. She also had one on Armada, but this one was bad. And there is so much work to be done. But Genarog is pressuring amazingly. Single jab into float away. Just such good pressure, such good timing, except Lily is off stage with no jump and no puddle. But Genarog burns it a little too quickly. Doesn't quite find anything. Still, Lily is trying to pressure in the corner, trying to get any sort of extra damage that she can before Genarog tacks on too much, but it's looking rough.
And Genarog is doing such a good job as well at mixing up the timings in terms of sending in the arrow and the tornado. Just in general, which is really messing with Lily's ability to parry. Like, look at that. She cannot get a parry to save her life. Finally, we're gonna get the up B in order to kill here, because this is still a very good move to kill. But 122%, that is a mountain to climb for the Orcane player.
A mountain to climb, and every single hand footprint is going to be really difficult to find because Genarog does not make it easy, especially at this high percent. Pressure's Lily out in the corner. Back air is going to do it. Genarog gets that win over Lily, over Orcane, finally making his mark against this character this weekend. That's what we want to see. That's improvement from the Italian fleet.